What's up, everybody? My name is Matt Modi. I'm a content producer and a betting analyst for OddsJam. I'm also a huge NBA fan, and this video I'm going to be dedicated to showing you how you can use OddsJam, specifically the OddsJam Positive EV page, to make money betting on the NBA playoffs. So make sure that you stick around for this entire video. I'm giving out a ton of different tips and advice and tricks and how you can make money, specifically betting on the NBA playoffs. Like I said, what I have up here is the OddsJam Positive EV page, and this is going to be my bread and butter. This is where I'm going to be spending the most of the time analyzing the data and finding profitable bets to make specifically for the NBA playoffs. So if you're not a subscribed member, that's totally fine. What I would recommend you do is just sign up for its free trial, watch this video, use the advice I give in this video, and then you'll start profiting. So what I have up here is the OddsJam Positive EV page, right? This is my bread and butter. This is where I'm going to spend the most of the time showing you how you can make money. The way the Positive EV page works, essentially what it does is it takes lines from the sharpest sportsbook in the world. That's the OddsJam Perfect line, the OddsJam line you see here. And it provides examples where you're getting more favorable odds on another sportsbook. That's what's considered a positive expected value bet. The greater the difference between the OddsJam Perfect line and the line on the sportsbook, the higher the percent, the higher positive expected value that bet's going to be. What I will say is the highest percent positive EV does not mean you should spend the most money on those bets. There's a ton of factors that go into how much money you should spend on a bet, which I'll get into. But the important thing to note here is that anytime you're looking at the Positive EV page, every single play on this page is going to provide an example of where you're getting more favorable odds on whatever sportsbook you see here. BetRivers, Unibet, FanDuel, BetMGM, DraftKings. You're getting more favorable odds on those sportsbooks than what the OddsJam Perfect line calculates the line to be. But with that said, that I'm not saying you should bet every single bet on here. Right? It's important to understand that you should be selective in the bets that you choose. So what I recommend doing is watching this entire video in its full length, and then you'll understand how you can use the OddsJam Positive EV page. So if you're not signed up, sign up for a 7-day free trial. It doesn't cost you any money. Invest in your betting education, and let's start cashing. The first thing that I look at when I'm looking at the OddsJam Positive EV page is I look at the market width. So you might be familiar with this term, but if you're not, market width is essentially a way the OddsJam Perfect line shows confidence in a line. So the smaller the number, the better. The larger the number, the worse, right? That part's pretty simple. The way you calculate it is for a plus and a minus like this. You just subtract these two numbers. So 32 minus 16 is 16. So the market width for this one is 16. This one, the market width is 19, 18, 19. Looks like this one is 19. You get the point, right? You just subtract the two numbers, and that's how you calculate the market width. The market width is going to be the singular most important thing you're going to look at when deciding to place a bet. The way I have it calculated and how I would recommend you guys manage your bankroll is anything that is above 25 cents in market width, you shouldn't put more than 1% of your bankroll on. So if your bankroll is $100, you shouldn't put more than $10 on any bet that has market width above 10%. 25 cents. 25 cents. Now, I'm not saying that you should bet every single bet above 25-cent market width. You should bet $10 on it. No, what I'm saying is you should never bet more than that. You should always be making sure that you're placing a mathematically profitable bet, and the first thing you need to be looking at is market width. So anything above 25 cents, you should just put 1% of your bankroll on. The next category that we look at is anything between 15 cents, or I guess 16 cents and 25 cents. Then you're going to bet 3% of your bankroll. So if your bankroll is $1,000, you should bet $30 on a bet that has in between 16 cents and 25 cents in market width. So for all these bets we've seen so far, that would be a $30 bet for anybody with a $1,000 bankroll. But the most valuable bets that you will see on the OddsJam Positive EV page is anything that has 15 cents and below. So those are what I like to call a load city bet. Those bets you should put 5% of your bankroll on, no more than 5%. As a sports bettor in general, the betting advice to give people regarding bankroll management is you should never bet above 5% of your bankroll on any singular bet. But if you find a bet that you really like and you see that it's got tight market width, that's a really valuable bet, and those I would be willing to put up a 5% of your bankroll bet. So what we see here, there are a lot of examples of bets that have less than 15 cents in market width. This one right here, the Minnesota Timberwolves plus 7.5. You see this has 14 cents in market width. And we know that it's a positive expected value bet because it's on the positive EV page. So I think this is a really good bet. My bankroll, I upped to 2,000, so I was at 1,000. I upped it to 2,000. This would be a really good bet. So I'm going to bet 5% of my bankroll on this one, which is going to be $100. So I'm going to go to the Grizzlies Timberwolves game. The bet was Timberwolves plus 7.5. And I'm going to bet it minus 115 odds. And it was on Bet Rivers. The bet is locked in, and that's how you can find a really valuable NBA bet to place. You look at anything with market width 15 cents or below. Now that I've placed the bet, the one thing I need to do is I need to add it to my bet tracker. This is an incredibly helpful tool as a sports bettor. You need to be tracking your bets, and OddsJam has the best bet tracker on the market. So what I'm going to be doing is all you do to add it to your bet tracker, you click the plus button. You make sure you identify which side you're on. So I was on the Timberwolves plus 7.5. I bet $100. You click save. Now it's added to my bet tracker. So if you want to make sure that it was added correctly, all you need to do, you go to oddsjam.com, you hover over this little line here, bet tracker, you click bets, and now we see it right here. What I love about the OddsJam bet tracker is it tells you when your bet is currently beating the closing line, and the closing line is just the no vig odds of the OddsJam perfect line. So if you're unfamiliar with what the vig is, it's essentially the juice that every single sportsbook charges in order for them to make money. That's the business model of a sportsbook. So they don't charge a transaction fee or anything like that. They just make money by juicing up the odds a little bit. So what I love about the bet tracker is it tells you if your bet is currently beating closing line or not. Green means you're beating closing line. Red means you're not. And like I said, these are the no vig odds based on the OddsJam perfect line. So another good feature about the OddsJam perfect line, it auto grades your bets for you. So all these pending bets you see here, I had a little bit of a losing streak. It happens. It auto grades for me. So I'll wake up and I'll know if my bet won or lost. I won't have to go in and change it. And all the information you see here on the bet tracker feeds into your homepage. So total profit is taken from the bet tracker. Profit, I've been a little bit down recently. Profit over time, taken from your bet tracker. So I recommended signing up for the 7-day free trial. Use the bet tracker and you'll watch your profits increase if you're using these strategies. Another thing I would suggest, if you're not quite ready to commit for a free trial, at least sign up for the email list and you'll get sent 3 free bets a day. So all we need is your email. You'll get 3 free bets a day. Add those bets to your bet tracker and watch your profits accumulate. Then you can sign up for the free trial if you're more comfortable that way. And once you really start profiting, you really start making money, you'll want to sign up for the year. So now that I've talked about how to identify a load city bet based on the market width for a game prop, now let's focus on player props. Player props are a little bit different. As you see here, the juice on a player prop is a little bit higher than the juice on a regular game prop. That's because player props just have a wider variance. Sportsbooks are a little bit more unsure of where they should price player props, so they upcharge it a little bit. It doesn't mean you should avoid player props. It just means you need to be a little bit more careful. So no longer are we avoiding bets that have above 25 cents in market width. What we're doing now is we're avoiding bets that have above 40 cents in market width. So this Trae Young player prop right here, minus 135, plus 105, that would be a play. That would be 33 cents in market width. But the important thing to understand is just because it's within market width, it doesn't mean that you should bet it. Player props require a little bit more research into them. Number one, most important thing you should do when deciding whether to bet a player prop or not, once we've determined that it's within 40 cents in market width, you should look and see where other books have this player prop priced. That way you can find out if there's a discrepancy among sports books, and that way you can see if the bet you're placing truly is a positive expected value bet. So what I have up here is that Trae Young play, but with lines from every single sports book so we can compare. We know that it's a positive EV play because I took it from the positive EV page. Another way I could tell if this was positive EV or not would just be use the OddsJam calculator to remove the VIG. So what I'll do now is I'll open up the OddsJam calculator. This is free to add, free to use. I'll add in both odds. It was minus 138, plus 105, and I see that the true line for this bet is minus 118 according to the OddsJam perfect line. So we're getting it at minus 105 on BetMGM. So I know that it's positive EV. But what I don't like about this bet is every single sportsbook has it priced closer to what the BetMGM line is. So BetMGM has it at minus 105, Caesars minus 115, DraftKings and FanDuel at minus 110. That shows me that there might be a pricing mismatch on the OddsJam perfect line if every other book is in alignment. So this bet I would actually not recommend taking because of that exact reason. So here's a bet that I think does have value. It's Joel Embiid under 33.5 points. So the OddsJam perfect line prices this at minus 147. The other side of it is priced at plus 112. That is 35 cents in market width. So if we want to make sure that it's positive expected value, puts the true line of this at minus 126. As you saw, I got it at minus 115 on BetMGM and WinBet. So we know that it's positive expected value. I also like it because most other books price this minus 134, minus 130, minus 120. OddsJam perfect line has it at minus 147, and then of course minus 135 on PointsBet. The only books that are remotely close are FanDuel and DraftKings at minus 116 and minus 120, but there is a little bit of a discrepancy here. So I think this is a really good bet. I lower my unit size for player props a little bit more, so I won't put a 5-unit bet on a player prop. I'll just put $75 on this one. Joel Embiid under 33.5 points, and it's locked in. So that's the advice I have for you on betting the NBA playoffs. You're going to look at market width. You're going to want to compare books. So there's a lot of important things you can do as a sports bettor. Number one is just to be signed up for everywhere that is available to you. So use the links in the description to sign up for sportsbooks. Use those promo codes. And it's also really important to have access to the OddsJam Positive EV page. So either sign up for a free trial if you're not a paid member, or if you are, use the advice I gave you, and then you'll be able to profit betting on the NBA playoffs. And that's all I got for you. So please comment your thoughts on the video. I would love to hear your feedback. Would also appreciate if you could click that like button and subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But as far as this video goes, that's all I got for you. So thanks for watching and have a good one.